This week on The Digital Coffee, Creator Studio gets an upgrade for Instagram, WhatsApp gets a new shopping tool, and are chatbots dead in Europe? All that and more after this. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to The Digital Coffee. This is your weekly dose of digital marketing and social media news for small business. My name is Amanda Webb. Thanks for joining me today. I think my stream is working properly this week. Last week it was my internet, it died. And weirdly, this morning, the internet was really slow again. I have plugged in. So hopefully you can all see and hear me properly. I can see some comments coming in, which is good news. I can see there are people watching, which is good news. I've also dimmed the lights a bit today because I got a Christmas tree and I wanted you to see all the pretty lights. If you leave a comment on this, I will send you a copy of the Digital Coffee newspaper. I will definitely do that. You'll also get an option to get a notification about next week's show, but I really need you to click the calendar option there because as you'll find out later, there may be a problem with me reminding you about next week's show. My question of the week, if you want to talk about that, and some of you have commented already, is what is Facebook going to steal next? And answer of the week has to go to Barbara. It made me snigger there when I was waiting. My sanity. Yeah, I think all of us as Facebook users are experiencing that at the moment. You can also, by the way, if you don't want to comment about that, tell me what is in your mug. What drink are we sharing together? I'm 2 teas down. Thinking I might have a hot chocolate after the show with a bit of coffee in. Is that weird? I don't know. Anyway, I mention that because Lee is telling us that she is drinking coffee on a glum Anglesey morning. Yep, you know what? About 2 p.m. yesterday, all the light went away. It just looked like nighttime and it hasn't really come back. I can see it is a bit lighter than when I woke up this morning, but it is very dull here. And Lee also says, as someone who considers themselves very loyal to Facebook, I'm beginning to make plans to ensure your whole business doesn't rely on it. I am afraid. Not that it does now, but I use it as a major tool. Yeah, I think a lot of us are thinking that way. You know, Facebook is really killing us. I was just like scrolling through my Creator Studio to see if I had the new feature I'm talking about today. And I noticed there were like no engagements on my posts in the last week. It's like, hello, Facebook. I don't even know if you got your notifications about today's show. You can tell me about that because people are experiencing problems with that. They're experiencing problems getting into live shows or seeing live shows. So for those of you that actually made it here, well done. Hopefully more people will start watching it on YouTube, which I do believe at the moment is a little bit more reliable. But enough of my babble. You're here to hear the news. So let's talk news.
Hi, I'm Catherine Mason and you're watching Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
It wasn't so long ago that you couldn't schedule or even post anything to Instagram from the web. I mean, people came up with creative workarounds, but you couldn't do that at all. And then social media management tools started doing this thing where you could send yourself a reminder with the message and everything that would come in through your phone, but you'd still have to be there in the moment to post it. And I remember like inconvenient times, like I knew I was going to be in the cinema, so I'd have to pop out to the toilet at a specific time so I could post the content. It was a real pain. But then they started letting social media tools that were Instagram partners proper schedule to Instagram, which was wonderful. And then, I think it was about a year ago, they introduced Creator Studio, which allows you to schedule posts to Instagram from an official Facebook tool. But to be honest, it's not great. It's a very basic tool. It's not as good as the third-party tools. Definitely no good. I mean, you might not know why I'm so excited about this, but the problem is when you're scheduling and you can't see it on the calendar is that you make mistakes. It's almost impossible not to make a mistake. You'll schedule at the wrong time, or you'll schedule on the wrong day, or you'll send a bundle of posts all at the wrong time. You won't be able to see gaps. With calendar view, you'll be able to see all that. Now, I use calendar view in Agorapulse every single time I schedule, just to make sure I'm getting things right. And this is why I know it's going to be a hit with Creator Studio. So it is good news if you're scheduling for Instagram. If you're not using a third-party tool and you have to rely on Creator Studio, this is going to be brilliant for you. I can see I've got a comment from Kerry. Said she did get a notification today. Okay, that is good news. I'm happy. Lee says, I remember when I was at Social Media Marketing World a couple of years back, which is where we know each other from. In one of the keynotes, there was a panel on the stage. I think it was Molly Pittman talking about all things Facebook, chatbots, and questions. Questions to the audience were opened up, and some brave soul actually asked the question, so what happens if we put all these resources into chatbots and they take it all away from us? It caused a stir at the time. And that's really interesting. We are coming to that story a little bit later on. Because this year at Social Media Marketing World, I was talking, I can't remember her full name. It's Mary Catherine. And she's somebody that I know, and I've interviewed on my podcast about chatbots. And she was already moving away. She was looking at chatbot solutions that weren't tied to Facebook. So she was way ahead of the curve. More comments. It says I've got more comments. Also, the announcement made yesterday regarding government regulations is rather worrying. I don't know about that. So you're going to have to, and also obviously we have different governments. So you'll have to tell me a little bit more about that.
I'm Ian Anderson-Gray and you're watching Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
Duets on TikTok are really fun. How they work is somebody uploads a video and you upload your own video that will play alongside the original. And you could use this for competitions. You could use it to gather user-generated content. The funniest ones are reaction videos. So there's a video and you're reacting to it as you watch it. They're really fun content. And as is Facebook's way, I was going to say Instagram, as is Facebook's way, they are stealing this. Well, Instagram is stealing this idea for TikToks. TikToks for Reels. And the new tool is going to be called Remix, and it's exactly the same. Somebody will be able to shoot their video to run alongside your video. You'll be able to watch them both at the same time. If you are the original video creator, you will be able to download the remix. You also, don't worry, people won't be able to do this to any of your videos. So it's kind of bully proof. You'll be able to choose if you want your videos remixed. And this could be brilliant for businesses. Now, I don't like that they've stole it off TikTok, but it is a fabulous tool. We can use this, as I said, we can use this to get some really fun user-generated content. We could use it for competitions. We could use it for challenges. It's a great way to push your business or your brand further out. So I'm really loving this. If you haven't used Reels now, well, now is the time. Now is the time. Get on Reels so that when these new tools get rolled out, you'll be able to maximize them. Lee says it was the US government. Yeah, I know there was a court case yesterday with the FTC. So I do know about that. I thought you were talking about the UK government because that's where you were. You may have put that in your post and I was ignoring the fact that you said US. So yeah, there is some interesting stuff going on in the US and I think that could be important in the future. I'm not covering it today because there's a whole lot more stuff happening there at the moment. And honestly, I want to know how it works out. The weird thing is, just going off topic, I remember not so long ago, I would have been on Facebook's side. Now I'm on the FTC side. That's how much Facebook has annoyed me recently. Hello to Kathleen. Thank you for joining me today, Kathleen. You haven't missed much. Don't worry. There's lots of news yet to come.
Hi, I'm Charlie Lawrence and you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
2020 has definitely been the year of online meetings. They have become a thing. We could be either using Zoom or Microsoft Teams or Google Meet. It's just the way that we meet these days. And to be honest, I'm sure this is going to continue even after this horrible thing is over. Facebook have tried to steal this. They launched, I think it was back in May, they launched a thing called Rooms, and it was their answer to Zoom. And Rooms could happen in Messenger, so with your friends, or you could set them up in a group. And we actually used Rooms in my group during lockdown for our weekly meetups, which we discontinued once people started going back to work. But they were kind of a really handy way to get to know each other a lot better. And I know a lot of people who watch this show who I didn't know before, we met through Facebook Rooms. They're getting an upgrade because the problem with Facebook Rooms was, number one, once I hit 500 people in my group, I could no longer invite everyone to an event for the room, which meant attendance dwindled away. People RSVP'd for the event, they would sometimes just pop in. The second problem, and this is one we didn't have on my group, but obviously if you can let anyone from your group in, you get spammers. You just get random people coming on, taking over the conversation. So Facebook are fixing this with some new room tools that they're calling invite-only rooms. If you have a group of 10,000, no, not 10,000, if you have a group of 1,000 or more, you will automatically, all your rooms will be invite-only. So only an admin will be able to start it, and you will only be able to join if you've been invited. This is kind of cool because it means you can invite people again, right? You can invite people again, they may actually participate. If you are in a group of under 1,000 at the moment, it's unclear if you're going to be able to opt in to invite only rooms. I don't have the option yet, and I don't have 1,000 followers, so we'll have to see how that goes. This means though, so only the people you've invited will be able to join. You'll then be able to go live with your room in the group. Which reminds me, I don't know if any of you are as old as me on the internet, but there was this wonderful tool called Blab a few years back, which was pretty much that. It was like a conversation that was live and anyone could watch and join in. And just like Blab, if you're watching that room, the people who are in the room will be able to invite you to join in. Or sorry, the admins will be able to invite you to join in as well. So it could facilitate a really lovely conversations, really valuable ways for you to get to know each other. And you know what? Even if you don't participate, because you'll be able to watch it live, you will also feel like you're getting to know the group members better. I love this idea. I love it. Facebook, this has redeemed you just a little bit. Ginny, you missed your section. Ginny was the one who sent me originally, there's loads of them around now, but I'm crediting Ginny because she sent it before I saw it anywhere else, the details about the upgrade to Creator Studio. So thanks for that. You'll have to watch back now. You'll have to watch back. Good luck. Good. Looking forward to your updates. Can't keep up. Barbara, didn't I say that a couple of weeks ago, Ari, the bots? Well, a couple of weeks ago, we did have the first indication that this was going to happen when they changed the way the ads work. Good morning, Sylvia. You're drinking coffee. Lovely. Great. Sylvia, are you going to do a video for me? Let's get on with the news.
Hey, it's Andy at Content Cal here, and you're watching A Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
TikTok is the home of challenges. Challenges are huge content on TikTok. You'll know when you scroll through your feed on TikTok, you will see the same style of video popping up again and again. Kind of famously, we know the dance challenges, but there's tons of other fun challenges you can take part in. I think it's part of the wonderfulness that is TikTok. Somebody has noticed, though, that challenges are big. Who could that be? Who is known for stealing stuff? Could it be Facebook? Yes, Facebook. We did talk about this a little while ago. We talked about the fact that Facebook were going to introduce challenges to groups at the time, but they actually have introduced them now, and it's far broader than just groups. I'm not quite sure how you start a challenge, or does it happen automatically? But once you use a challenge hashtag, and I've got a really bad screenshot, but I feel like I should show you the really bad screenshot seeing as I got it. When you go into the hashtag page for that challenge, you will see all the people who have posted that. So this is lockdown fashion or something along those lines. At the bottom of every post, you will get the option to join in. There's a call to action button, gold and shiny, post your own thing to the challenge, and when you click that, it just starts a post with a hashtag. So Facebook are all in on the challenge. It's going to make more people use hashtags. I think it's fun. I think it's not a bad thing. And also, just because TikTok is hot for challenges now, they didn't invent them. I know there's been YouTube challenges for years, but also we've done challenges on Facebook before. They've just not been official. Who could ever forget the ice bucket challenge? So I do think this is a lovely way to get more people engaging in a positive way with their community. Again, it's not a they have stolen the idea, but it's not a negative. I think this is a good thing that Facebook are doing. So I've been giving them quite a lot of grief, but actually they've done well. There you go. Lee says that rooms excite you a lot, but do I want to put any more energy into and resources and planning into a feature that might not be around in a year? I can see forums making a comeback. That's interesting. So firstly, I think the format of rooms, you could do that with Zoom in the future. So I wouldn't worry about planning something and using that feature. If it goes away, that is a backup. You can do that on Zoom, and you can actually, depending on the level of Zoom you've got, you can live stream that into Facebook. So I kind of think maybe you should use rooms. My inkling is they won't go away because Facebook have this device called Portal, which you've got loads of good features, but I still wouldn't use it in my home because I don't want Facebook in my home. Even though I let Amazon Alexa in my home, I don't know what's going on there. But you could, this is a device where you can join into rooms. So I do think because it's tied to a physical product, it will be around for a while. Sylvia says, yes, she's doing her video for me, and that she's run off her feet with new business, which is brilliant. Congratulations, Sylvia. Delighted. Kathleen says, yes, the ice bucket challenge was amazing. You know what? I got nominated and I didn't do it. I wussed out, but I did make a donation even though I didn't do it. Also because I had nobody at the time. My other half was away working. I didn't have anyone to pour the ice over my head. Did anyone else do the ice bucket challenge? It was the most fun ever. I loved watching those videos. There were some classics out there.
Hello, this is Rob Charles, the voice of Mike on Forever FM on Peter Kay's Car Share. BAFTA award winning, I've got to say, but I've not seen the BAFTA yet. Anyway, you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb. Enjoy. I'm on tea. Shh.
I love that WhatsApp is becoming a way that you can buy from the local shops and retailers that you love, even if you can't go into them. I really do like that. I do seem to be saying a lot of good things, don't I, about Facebook today. Maybe I don't dislike it as much as I think. Well, I love that WhatsApp is letting you do this, but it is a bit of a pain because if you want to buy more than one thing from one retailer, you have to go in, look at their catalogue, select what you want to buy and send that as a message. Go and look at the next thing, look at what you can buy, send it as a message, and on and on and on. Which means that the poor retailer has to respond to every single one individually. It's going to become confusing and messy. WhatsApp have got a fix. WhatsApp Cart. WhatsApp Cart means that you'll be able to browse the catalogue from the retailer. You'll be able to pick multiple items and send them in one message. It doesn't sound big and exciting because you'd expect that that would be what you would do already, but there you go. What's nice about this is it will cut down the admin for both you as the shopper and for the retailer. And also, it will slot in nicely with WhatsApp chatbots when they come, because WhatsApp chatbots will be able to do a lot with that ordering process and making it easier for people without you getting hundreds of messages from WhatsApp. We'll talk about WhatsApp chatbots when they arrive and see what we can do with them in Europe. Lee says, I've been trying to think of a good reason I need a Facebook portal in my home. Feel free to give me one so I can convince the other half. I don't want Facebook in my home. I don't know why. Good morning to Evelyn. Hello, Evelyn. Oh, and Evelyn is watching on YouTube. Thanks for watching on YouTube. I'm so happy when I get YouTube visitors. So if you are watching on YouTube, do let me know, and don't forget to click the subscribe button and all that stuff so you don't miss a show. Even when chatbots go away on Facebook, go over to YouTube, subscribe to my channel, click on the bell. You'll still get notifications on your phone when I go live. It's actually better. It's better than the chatbot. Right, so we're about to talk about the big topic of the week, and here's Lee.
Hi, I'm Lee from Wellshot, and you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb. Cheers.
Messenger chatbots on Facebook have been a wonderful way for you to connect with your community. And in fact, with more and more people just sending direct messages, that being their preferred way to communicate, it's just a no-brainer that you should have some sort of chatbot to manage that. But this week, there have been new regulations on how your chatbot will work in the future from Facebook, which means after December the 16th, which is Wednesday, this Wednesday, there are going to be some very strict restrictions if you are in Europe. And I'm not just talking about the EU, I'm talking about the EU plus 4 countries. So if you're in the UK, this is you too. The first big change is one-time messages. One-time messages are what you get for this show. So when you get that message in to tell you there's 15 minutes, that's a one-time message because you've opted in. When you comment on this and I send you that whole flow, you opt in to get that one-time message. But I will no longer be able to use that feature. It's also used by e-commerce stores. People will opt in to get messages about their order, about it's being dispatched, it's being delivered. No more. No more. That is gone. The second thing that's gone, and we talked about this a few weeks ago, is within Facebook ads, you will no longer be able to retarget Messenger subscribers. So when somebody messages your page, they become a subscriber. You could create an audience in Facebook Ads Manager of those people. You could either retarget them with ads, or you could make sure you're not sending them the same ad once they have subscribed. So you could remove them from the targeting. Gone. Gone, 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 gone. The third one. Oh, this one is really bizarre. You won't be able to. Now, the more I think about this, I have to go back and look at the article. You will no longer be able to see who is messaging you. You won't be able to see their profile picture. You won't be able to see their name. You won't be able to see where they live. You won't be able to see their gender. Now, the where they live and gender, I get. But their name? Their name? Now, there may be a workaround on this. Many chats say there may be a workaround on this, so it's going to be interesting to see. And I don't know, will this be a problem natively or only with third-party tools? But that is odd. I mean, when somebody messages your page, it's like they're blaming GDPR and privacy laws, but actually, some of these just don't make sense. You will no longer be able to send and receive media files except for images. So I'm kind of going, what constitutes a media file? I mean, is a GIF a photograph, or is it another type of media file? Because my chatbot is packed with GIFs, and some of them I took time to create, so that's slightly annoying. The next one just cannot have anything to do with privacy at all. It's just ridiculous, Facebook. You are trying to pull the wool over our eyes. Buttons. So these are things that you would click to move forward with the conversation. It just makes it a lot easier to do stuff. You'll only be able to see them on mobile. Now, not on desktop. Why would that have anything to do with privacy? Baffled. I have a conspiracy theory that all of this is just Facebook throwing its toys out of the pram because it doesn't like EU privacy laws. So it's going to make it really difficult for us to use Facebook, and then they'll get us to petition the EU. If that happens, you'll know I'm not a conspiracy theorist at all. But if that happens, that's what I said might happen. Anyway, this sounds awful. It sounds terrible, but it's not as bad as it seems. There will be ways that you can get around this. I know ManyChat are working on it. Sasha, who manages my bot, is trying to work around it. You will need to be more creative to get around these restrictions. It does only apply to people in the EU, so people in the US will only be hit if they're messaging people in the EU. The rest of their audience would really still get the full messenger experience. It is a pain, but we're going to have to work around it. As Lee said at the beginning, we need to think of alternatives to Facebook. So I know that people are out there developing other messenger tools, chat tools or bot tools that aren't associated with Messenger. We need to do our email marketing. I mean, I don't know why so many people don't do email marketing. It is phenomenally good. If you're subscribing to next time's show, the one-time notification isn't going to work, but you know what will work? If you add the event to your calendar, and then you'll get a reminder for your calendar. Or if you pop over, like Evelyn has, to YouTube, subscribe to my channel there, click for notifications, and that will send you a notification 30 minutes before I go live and when I go live. ManyChat is pushing SMS messages. I'm not a big fan of SMS messages, but do let me know below. Is that a way that you would like to be notified about this show? Definitely for e-commerce businesses, that would work. I would totally sign up for SMS messages about deliveries. So there are going to be ways that we get around this. And hopefully Facebook will stop throwing its toys out of the pram soon. And we will restore some kind of normality.
This is May King from The FOMO Creator, and you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
Now tell me, if you are on Instagram, would you be more likely to watch a story if you could see that it only had a short amount of time left before it expired? So if you knew there was only an hour left to watch my story and you were in Instagram, would that make you more likely to click? Well, Instagram seems to think so, because they are testing just that. They are testing putting a timer, is that what you'd call it, on Instagram stories. So you'll be able to see how long is left to watch these specific stories. And that does create a kind of FOMO, doesn't it? You're going to want to watch that. You're going to want to click and watch that story, because if you don't, you'll have missed out on it. I think that's what Instagram's trying to do here, which is good for business. It's good for business because people will more likely watch your story if they think it's going to expire. But also we need to think of Instagram's motivation here. And for me, I think it's all about keeping you on their platform, right? Right? So when people see that your story is expiring, instead of leaving Instagram, they're going to click in and get into a whole story session. Lots of comments here. I was just about to finish off the show, but Lee is giving a big shout out to Sasha. Yes, Sasha is my go-to person for messenger bots. It makes WhatsApp a valuable messenger connector for business. I don't know, because if this is happening on Facebook, are they going to make that happen on WhatsApp as well? That's my worry. Like, all Facebook tools could end up being affected by this. Very business user unfriendly. Yeah, right. Rob says, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Agreeing with Lee. Absolutely agree with you there. Oh, Lee says she's also seen Facebook saying, watch this story from your friend before it disappears. So that's interesting. As well as this, you're seeing it on Facebook stories. And Evelyn is, about Instagram story expiration. Wow. So many of you here today. Before I go, next week's show is going to be the last one of the year, and it's going to be different. If you've been watching this show for a year, you'll know that last year I did a Christmas prediction show. What's going to happen in social media in 2021? So no news next week, but what you're going to get is my predictions for 2021. The last show, I will have a Santa hat. I'm pointing the wrong way. I will have fully dressed my tree. We will have stockings. We will be here and I will discuss what I think it's really important for you to know in 2021. So I will be here, same bat time, same bat place next week. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube if you want notifications about the show because it's more reliable. See you then. Until then, have a fabulous weekend.